Hi, Jason Knott, editor of CE Pro, and today I am talking about lighting with Margie Myers, product manager of lighting at Snap One. Hi, Margie.
Hi, great to be here.
Thanks for joining me today. So, how important is it for integrators to become educated regarding lighting design and lighting fixtures, particularly in terms of the compatibility of lighting fixtures with lighting controls and tunable white light and color changing and all these new lighting trends that are coming about?
Yeah. First, let me take the first part of that question, which is the importance of understanding lighting design and lighting fixtures. We're kind of at a place in our industry like we were when internet first started coming to people's homes, and integrators had to start figuring out how to get robust networks into people's homes. We're at that place with lighting where people are starting to realize that lighting in their homes is really bad. And as they move to a second home, they want better lighting, which they think means add more cans to my ceiling. A really well-educated integrator can help a customer understand that that's not what they want. They want targeted light. They want better placement and design of where lights go. Now that's a really key for integrators, because when you start adding more lights for good lighting design, you start adding more controls, which is great. And that can be just kind of the straight dimmers. You can get a centralized solution because of that. And so that's really important. Now, the second part is tunable white and color changing. That's where integrators are really going to shine, because an electrician can't do that. An electrician can install those things. They can't control them without a bunch of apps that you're adding to customers' phones. So using a control platform, you can control those things. And so tunable white right now, which is going from kind of a warm kind of sunset kind of point in the day to afternoon sun down to sun. Did I say sunset? Sunrise to sunset. So kind of going through all those phases of the day is really important for our well-being, our psychology. But even if a customer is not doesn't really buy into that, which some don't, you can also just say, hey, you don't have to choose a color temperature for your house, right? When you're buying light fixtures, you have to choose, do you want it like a midday light? Do you want it like a warm light? And sometimes that can be a crippling conversation for someone and a decision to make. And so as an integrator, you can just give them the option by having that controllability in a fixture. But then it also gives you this opportunity to, when you make a scene, you can change the temperature of light in the room, which it's such a different level than just dimming a light. You can dim a light, but also bring in a different warmth of light, which is it's just game changing to have in people's houses.
And just from you explaining these concepts that you just did, you can tell that it's really vital for an integrator to have some level of education regarding what is the capabilities are of the different light fixtures, whether it's color changing or tunable white, as well as lighting design. So how is Snap One helping integrators garner that education?
So we have, I would say, the best education team in the industry. Our education team is so phenomenal. And so we are working on some really awesome education for dealers in this regard. I can't talk a ton about it, but the stuff that we've got some really exciting things on that. There's also I think ProSource is doing an amazing job with their education on that. I've been through some of that training. I've been super impressed by it. And I know a lot of the buying groups are doing some really great training on that. But we've got some really cool stuff that we're working on that when it comes out, it's going to be really exciting for our customers.
So one of the interesting aspects of lighting is that we've seen this revolution take place with the introduction of low voltage lighting, and forever it was line voltage lighting. Our data at CE Pro shows about 31% of integrators have electrical licenses right now, which sounds good, but that means 69% don't. Should an integrator have an electrical license?
It's a good question. It is, I have talked to many dealers that do and that don't. And here's what I've seen. I was out with a dealer a few weeks ago, and they have two arms. They've got an electrical arm to the company and an integration arm to their company. And what that lets them do is when they come into a house, they own all of the wiring, and so they're able to have those discussions, and they can sell in light fixtures very easily because there's no electrician that's concerned about, am I making my profit, because they are the electrician. And there are, like, we'd love to get to a world where all lighting in a home is low voltage, so a dealer can or an integrator can install all of that lighting, but we're not at that point yet. And so it's a lot easier to build sell lighting design when you've got an electrical license. When you don't, then the dealer has to be really like kind of hand in hand with the electrician that's on the job and help them understand, because the electrician, they're used to making margin on light fixtures and light switches and outlets and things. And so if an integrator is going to start selling those things, you have to really educate an electrician about, hey, you're going to make more money on this because I'm going to put a whole lot more lights in than you were going to put in. And there's going to be a lot more light switches than you were going to put in. And there's also points where dealers can work out a little bit of a margin exchange of, are you just making 10% on a $10 can? Cool. Well, I'll give you 5% of a $200 can, right? You can work out some things like that to, but if you don't have that electrician part of your company, you have to have really good conversations with electricians and help them feel like they're winning in this situation too, which they really are if you do the relationship right.
Yeah, that's good advice on how they should build that and structure that business model. All right, let's turn to something new from Snap One, and that's the Control4 Contemporary Lighting line. Tell us about that.
So cool. So we developed this contemporary line. Now it's built on the same electronics of our current line, of our we call it Gen 3 line, or a traditional line, we call it. So it's built on the same electronics. Our electronics are really robust and strong. They're still beautiful, but sometimes the buttons would break or they'd be a little shaky. And so we've done some really beautiful, our mechanical engineers have done a beautiful job on this product where it's got a different feel, it's got a different button click. It feels really, really satisfying. And it's just beautiful. So it can go into, modern homes, country homes. It can go into any, we've got some really great colors. We added a new gray color, which is really nice. And we're just getting so much positive feedback out in the industry. It's anything that the homeowner touches becomes an emotional purchase. And so we're just hearing that homeowners are loving this new product, and it's drawing people into the Control4 home. So it's really exciting.
So how important is it for an integrator to know the compatibility of the fixtures that he is installing with the controls that he's using?
Yeah, it's super important. You want to know how well a light fixture dims, what kind of its on and off states are. And so we've always had a lighting compatibility department. We've got some of the lighting compatibility on our website. Under our dealer portal, and we've got we've just hired 3 new engineers to help build out that lighting compatibility even further. So if any integrator listening to this has any questions about lighting compatibility, you can just email. Well, first look at our website. If it's not there, then go to email lighting compatibility at control4.com, and one of our engineers will help you figure all that out. So.
Well, thank you for joining me today, and I know we can't wait to see what is coming down the pike from Snap One. You hinted at it, and we will be waiting with bated breath to see what comes down the pike. Margie, thanks for joining Seat Your Pro today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. It's great to be here.